game. It's something very close to my heart for reasons that I'll go into. I've been playing Minecraft now for 8 years, and it all stems from one of my children wanting a Minecraft birthday party. I would have never entered into the realm of Minecraft if it wasn't for him. So yes, yeah. So a big thank you to you, first of all, who you can't see, and he's very shy, so he'll probably never come to the camera. So yes, I'm Matthew Ward. I've lived in Hampshire and Surrey pretty much all my life. I have a background in engineering, biomedical science and business. Been to university 3 times because I'm a stickler for punishment. Worked in the pharmaceutical industry for 25 years, and during lockdown had the opportunity to follow my passion, or a passion which not many people get to do. So retrained as a teacher, and went into a college further educational setting to teach games design and information technology. Why I became involved in Minecraft, through Bailey, who wanted a Minecraft birthday party, not knowing what Minecraft was, but obviously him and his friends have been playing it for a couple of years. He asked, can we throw a themed birthday party, Dad? Sure, absolutely. And I put my geek hat on, and thought, right, let's have a look at this Minecraft thing. Right, it's a game. Oh, people can play it together. Excellent. Okay, let's try and set up a multiplayer environment for this. Oh, you can run a server where up to 125 people can actually join and play collaboratively, and build and explore. And from there, my mind exploded with ideas, possibilities for this online setting, which for me, initially playing it, was a lot like a digital Lego kit, where you'd open a kit, and you'd follow the instructions, and you build something, and then about 20 minutes later, I would always throw the instructions out the room, demolish it, and start building creatively from my mind and make it what I wanted it to be. And there are obviously certain rules. Things don't fit together in certain ways. Other bits only fit together in certain ways. But the world is kind of completely open to what you want to make it. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I've got a small audience in real life as well that's kind of nodding along. So that's me, and that's how I got involved in Minecraft. What we'll do is we'll take it back to the beginning of Minecraft, where Minecraft came from, why it means so much to so many, the possibilities, and at any time, if you have a question, if I say a word that absolutely doesn't mean anything to you, please let me know and we can explore that word. So the Minecraft was originally released in 2009 by a gentleman called Marcus Patterson. He's known as Notch. He's the video game creator. He has 2 sidekicks, Jess and Dinnerbone. Now, those are people and words that will come into conversation. Notch, Jez, Jeb, and Dinnerbone, especially Dinnerbone and Jeb, who both continue to work on the game, whereas Notch, in 2011, actually sold the game to Microsoft, who now own it. Originally, it was called the Cave Game, and it was about exploring a pre-generated world. What do we mean by pre-generated? The world that you load into is randomly generated and is different every time. There are obviously there are rules of the world. There are, physics of the world, but the actual layout, the structure is different for every new world that is created. So it's never the same twice. Um, each is generated by a seed, and these seeds can be transferred between players. If you generate a world that you like, that you enjoy, that's very interesting, you can send the seed to another player, and they can then load that world, that seed world, and it'll be the same for them. And so you can discuss landmarks, the layout of the world, the the topography, which makes it very interactive in a multiplayer sense, even if you're not actually playing in the same world. So Minecraft back I'm going off tangent. I said I wouldn't go off tangent. So Minecraft is what we call a sandbox game. You imagine back to playing in the park where you have the swings, you have the sides, you have a sandbox. And what do kids do best in the sandbox? They make things, and it's total un here it's creativity at its finest. It is a blank canvas that you can use to create anything and everything, and it's in 3 dimensions. If you were to sit down with pen and paper, with an oil and canvas, yes, you can bring creativity to a 2D platform, but Minecraft, like the Lego, and like the sandbox at the play park, is a 3D environment, which brings spatial awareness, coordination into play, which other creative mediums don't allow for. Since its inception, Minecraft has crossed what we call platform boundaries. So when we talk about platforms, we think about different ways that people interact with digital media. We have a PC, or Apple Macintosh. We have then the consoles. We have Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. We have tablets and phones. And what Minecraft, as it has evolved, has tried to do is allow multi-platform crossplay, which is an absolute massive thing, which before Minecraft never really existed. If you were on Xbox, you were tied into playing only with people who had Xbox. If you had PlayStation, you could only play with people who had PlayStation. Similarly with the Switch, with the PC, tablet, phone. What Minecraft set out to do with one of its updates is bring all of the players together, with what's now known as crossplay, and a lot of other computer games have followed suit, and now are trying to allow crossplay between all of the different consoles, and tablets, phones, and computers, which, if you can imagine, is like having 30, 40 different little play parks where everybody's playing quite happily, but then shoving them together into this one massive play park where everybody can play together, everybody can learn from each other, which is just a massive thing in a digital arena, and has really revolutionized the way that people play games online, offline, and interact with each other. Now, obviously, there have been several sort of side tangents for Minecraft. There's Minecraft Story Mode, Minecraft Dungeons, Minecraft Earth, and each of those in its own right is a standalone game just based within the Minecraft world, because the Minecraft world is such a huge, complex environment that you can actually make these little offshoots and these little games in the environment that is Minecraft. But I'm not. I'm going to reel myself back off that tangent, and we're going to talk about normal Minecraft. So, as I said, Minecraft is a 3D sandbox game, and we all understand now what we mean by a 3D environment, in that it's not two-dimensional. You have three axes: the X, the Y, and the Z. You can go forwards and backwards, left and right, and up and down, and you can build within that, like you would do a Lego kit that was on the floor. It is up to the player when they first start playing the game how they want to play the game. Being a sandbox game, it is open to your own creativity, how you want to play the game. You can jump in and play one of three different game types. So we have a creative, whereby you have access to all the materials, all of the different blocks, all of the crafting recipes, so you can make anything that is within the world. You can place blocks wherever you like. You can fly, so you do not have the restriction of only being able to build as far as you can place blocks, or as far as you can build sort of a scaffold structure to allow you to play. The second game mode, so that was creative. Second game mode is survival, and survival, it like it sounds, is like an adventure in the wilderness. And there are several layers to that as well. There's within survival, you have a difficulty setting, whereby you can play a very peaceful level, and you can turn off hostile mobs, so you won't get attacked by anything. Your hunger doesn't really matter because you regenerate naturally. So it's very much a creative-esque type environment where you don't have to sustain yourself and look after yourself, but it still gives you sort of a feel for a survival type instinct, or a survival type mechanism where you have to, make food. You have to think about how you're going to find your way from one point to another and back again. So within that survival game mode, there is also a sort of normal setting whereby you will be affected by hunger. Mobs, what we call mobs, like the bad guys, will attack you. They will do damage. They will inflict damage upon you and your structures. And this is where different personality types or different ASD levels differ, in that sometimes this will be the level at which most children feel the happiest, because after this level, it becomes too complex, or too much like a real environment, and it becomes a little frustrating for them. We go into the realms of what's called the hard game mode and the hardcore game mode. So in hard, the mobs do significant amounts of damage, and they destroy what you have built. Your hunger becomes a real, what would we call that? A real in-game mechanic that you need to be aware of at all times. If you don't have enough food on you when you venture out into the world, or if you haven't set up a farm or some source of nutrition, then you will perish quite quickly. As we all do. I mean, I like a barbecue as much as the next person. Then there's the hardcore mode, and this is This is the hardest, I think, the hardest game, game level in Minecraft, but also the hardest survival type game that I think I've ever played. When you die, that's it. You cannot go back into that world. You get one try at it. It is almost like real life. It is so difficult that I've not actually completed a hardcore world and got anywhere. I did try once and I lasted what was it? Yeah, 15 minutes. And then yeah, I had to give it up. So those are the last game mode type is called the adventure. And this is for game creators. So what we can do, we can be in creative, we can create anything within the game world and 3D environment that we want to do. It's our sandbox. We can shape and mold it. In survival, it is a complete adventure. We have this pre-generated terrain with caves and cliffs and aquatic paradises and jungles, and it is like the real world. And there are a set of rules and there are boundaries that we understand as gamers. The third type, the adventure game mode, allows game creators to force different types of boundaries where players can no longer interact with blocks that we don't want them to. They cannot explore areas that we don't want them to. They cannot interact with items or use items that we don't want them to. It allows game creators to control what the player interacts with and how they interact with the game environment. I'll come on to game building in a little bit. Let's continue on with I've gone off on a tangent again. Let's continue on with the different game modes. So in creative, this is our blank canvas. This is our sandbox. This is the purest at its heart. This is exactly what Minecraft and Notch, when he developed it, wanted it to be. Players have access to all of the resources, and whatever comes into the player's mind, however the player feels at that given moment, they can use Minecraft to express that in a 3D environment. Whether that's within a topographical landscape, i.e. a pre-generated world with hills and cliffs, or whether it's within a what we call a super flat world, whereby the world is only sort of 4 blocks high. Imagine back to the Lego analogy, and I'll keep going back to this because it's something that we or I understand, being an avid Lego fan. The base plates that you can get that are 16 by 16, those gray base plates. So the super flat world is basically one of those gray base plates, just multiplied across the whole of the world. And you can build down 4 blocks, and then that's it. There's nothing below, but you can build up from that up to 256 blocks. So it is a complete open creative landscape for them. Now, many creative type players enjoy interacting in that type of world because it is such a blank canvas. There's nothing to navigate. But at the same time, it becomes slightly difficult because there are no landmarks. There's no way to be able to navigate through the world other than your own creations, which sometimes become frustrated, which sometimes leads to frustration, because you can lose things. You can imagine a complete open flat world, and you build something, you move on, you build something, you move on, you build something, you move on, you build something else, and then you log off. When you log back in, you start at the exact same position, but you don't necessarily know where you last were building. You don't know where you've left your builds. You don't know how to navigate that world because there is no landmarks or there's no difference in any of the topography. The sorry, the yes, the survival type environment, be it at peaceful or normal or hard, those varying difficulties. The survival mode gives you a topography to navigate. It's I like to think of it as an online version of Scouts or Army cadets, where you have to look after yourself. You have to think about your day-to-day routine. You have to think, I need to get food. I need to make food. I need to farm. I need to sustain myself. At the same time, explore the world around me. I need to gather resources. I need to mine those resources so that I can then craft items and objects and different block types that allows me to um, progress within the game. So within the survival world, there are a number of craftable items that are only available once you mine certain resources, certain block types. And there are different minerals, from coal, iron, gold. There's something called redstone, which I'll talk about in a minute. There's diamond. They've added something called netherite. There is also emeralds, and each different ore has different unique properties that allows you to make different items with different amounts of durability. So initially, when you join a survival mode game, your initial instinct is to craft some items that will help you within this world to help you survive. A spade, a pickaxe, an axe, and you can make them out of wood. Obviously, they break very quickly. Then you can make them out of stone, which lasts a bit longer, but still isn't as durable. And then when you start to find iron and gold, and especially diamonds, everybody knows the only thing that can cut diamond is diamond. It's the hardest material within the Minecraft survival mode, and you progress through this um, advancements, or achieve. They used to be called achievements, and they're now called advancements. And each time you create this new items, it opens up more of what we call the progression tree. So you get different advancements based on what you've made, or what you've experienced. From there, you then, while looking after your own base and making it more and more elaborate, and crafting and making different tools more and more shiny, you interact with the world around you. You find villages that are pre-generated, and these villagers then deal in the currency of emeralds. So that's their, in the survival world, this is your base currency. It's not gold, it's not minerals or ores. You need the emeralds. You can then interact with the villagers, who have different types of profession, um, and trade with them to get better weapons and armor, or you can upgrade your own weapons and armor. You can swap items for emeralds, and get potions, and all manner of things. Now, once you've got to this point, you're feeling pretty confident, as a survivalist player. You've got your homestead sorted. You've got a good source of food. You've made weapons and armor, and then comes the point where you can start to uh, try and achieve one of the 4 sort of hardest achievements within Minecraft. You can explore what's called the Nether. which is basically like an underworld akin to hell, which is, it sounds dark, but and it is quite dark. I mean, the whole base layer of the nether is lava. Everything is out to hurt you, attack you, and kill you. But the rewards that you get from going there far outweigh the danger that it presents. Unless you're in that hardcore mode that I talked about, in which case I would stay clear of the nether and I would never go in there ever. As I said, I made it 15 minutes through hardcore mode and I didn't get anywhere near that safe. Once you're there, you can get things, you can find structures, and once you explore those structures, they give you items that you cannot craft naturally within a survival environment. As I say, in the creative environment, within the creative environment, you can create or have access to every single item. In survival, you have access to most items and you're able to craft them. There are certain items, excuse me, there are certain items that you cannot craft. And so you need to, yes, I know, you need to explore. My audience has turned into some sort of background help now. You have, yes, you're able to create most items, but you have to explore to find certain item types. And in the nether, in these what would you call them? Structures, castles, as you would, you can find random chests and you can obtain these items, things like saddles that allow you to tame horses. You can find eyes of Ender. Sorry? Yes. That allow you to find your way to the end, which I will talk about in a minute. And you can find a mob called Blaze, which when you kill them, you get blaze rods, which is the basis for crafting potions, which is one of the main reasons. Sorry, everybody's a critic. Yeah, and Eyes of Ender, yes. Which allow you to blazes give you blaze rods and blaze powder, which is the basis for all types of brewing and potions within Minecraft, which are very much needed for when you explore the other level types or different areas of Minecraft. So you've done the survival mode, you've got your farms, you've got all your items. You're fully kitted out in diamond, you're all nice and shiny, you're on top of the world here. You've in stop, just stop. In the nether, you then go mining for what's called netherite, which is like the holy grail of ore types. And in itself, you can't make netherite equipment gear, but you use the netherite to almost like plate the outside of your equipment. So you find it, you make an anvil and you take your chest plate or your helmet or your sword, and you can, it's iron or diamond obviously the best, and then you coat the outside in netherite, which is like the stronger than diamond, sharper than diamond, faster than diamond. It's the next tier up. But that can only be found in the nether. So we're now completely kitted out in our diamond, plated with netherite gear. We've got our farm sorted. We've got enough potions that we've been to the nether to get our blaze rods. We're now back from the nether. We've crafted our potions so that we can either go to two destinations with 3 different bosses now. So we can go to an undersea temple.
Thank you.
This will allow us to defeat Elder Guardians. These are underwater blob creatures, and at the heart of the sea temple, you will find a massive cuboid of gold, which is a valuable resource that we'd like. Also gives you access to something called a conduit, which allows you to breathe underwater without potions of breathing. So these are the sort of end game goals for raiding that sea temple. Plus there's some certain brick types or block types that you won't find anywhere else that are kind of not precious, but they just look really nice, that you want to like elaborate or adorn your house with. So when other players see it, they go, "Oh wow, he's been through some stuff to get those blocks, I can tell you." So there's the sea temple. Once you've done that, I mean that would be my second after the nether. We have then what's called the end, and obviously being called the end, it is the end of the game if you can have an end to a sandbox game, which is kind of an oxymoron in itself. And the end is kind of like a nightmarish dream, if you can imagine this. First of all, you fight endermen, which are a mob type, to find basically their eyes, and then you use their eyes, you throw them up in the air and they kind of shoot off in a direction, and that tells you which direction to go to try and find the portal to get to this nightmarish realm, right? It's I've never had to say this stuff out loud before, and and as I do, I realize like how quite horrific some of this is. All right, so it is a really nice game. It's PG-7. Anybody over the age of 7 is allowed to play it, or should interact with it. Anyway, after you've killed these mobs and used their eyes to find the location of a hidden portal that's underground, you then get the opportunity to go to the end, which, as I've said, is the kind of the end of the game. I mean, once you complete this bit, you get the credits, but then you just go back into the game, and there are other things that you can do. You can continue to explore, etc. So yeah, you you have to come prepared with 12 eyes that you slot into holes within the portal that opens the portal to the end, this nightmarish realm. Once you get there, it's pretty much nighttime all the time. It's just a void type landscape, of oh, of a sort of beige material. That's, yeah, it's already sounding a bit. They have plants, but they're like giant purple cactus that just spawn up every now and again, and it's full of these endermen, these like skinny, tall, dark creatures that if you look at them, they just attack you. So you always keep your head at the floor, and you don't try, well, you try not to interact with them at any given time. And you find your way to the main area within the end, and this is where you find the Ender Dragon. Okay, the Ender Dragon. And this is a lot of Minecraft players. Well, how many times have you defeated the Ender Dragon, or how quickly could you defeat the Ender Dragon? Did you use any exploits to defeat the Ender Dragon? So the Ender Dragon flies around this arena, let's say, and it's tethered to crystals. So first of all, you have to destroy the crystals, but the crystals are at the top of very tall towers. So you have to build your way up the towers to try and destroy the crystals, or you need to have prepared and have magical bows, magical arrows with magical bows, to defeat, or not defeat, to destroy these crystals. Once the crystals are destroyed, the dragon is kind of then free. So he can come down, he can swoop, he can attack you, he can breathe fire on you, and there's no water. So yeah, don't get set on fire. It's not a good look. But then you can attack the Ender Dragon and do a significant amount of damage. And only then, once you fire the last bow into that Ender Dragon, after possibly a year and a half of gameplay. You're finished. You have completed. You're at the end, and it has ended. But that's kind of where the whole Minecraft survival journey begins. You've completed the game, but then you go back to the end where there's no dragon, and you start exploring the end, and you have Ender cities where you can pick up an item called an elytra, which is basically like a magical pair of wings. So now in this survival world where you've been trampling by foot or by boat, you can now suddenly fly, which opens up a whole other realm of possibilities for exploration and survival. It's kind of made me a little bit emotional, actually, talking about that whole from inception and starting playing through to the end, only because I've done it once all the way through, and it is a significant investment in time, and it is like a whole different life you lead in this game. It's possibly why it resonates so well with so many people and so many children. Yeah. Anyway, let's so once you've done your the end and your sea temple and the nether, you have something then called the wither. The wither is one of these like extra bosses, and you don't go somewhere to fight him. He's such a boss of a boss that you have to summon him if you want to fight him. Yeah, he's not like, oh, come and attack me, I'm in my castle. He's like, if you want to fight me and you think you're ready, you just tell me, I'll come to you, right? And let's have this battle. And fighting the wither is arguably the it's not the end of the game, but it is the last massive achievement that you can achieve in Minecraft. Achieve advancement, not achievements, they're called advancements now. It's the last advancement that you can do in a survival world. Once you've defeated the wither in a survival game, you are arguably the Don, right? You are you are like Minecraft done it, right? Tick. But even then, if you played that on peaceful, your next challenge is to do that in normal mode, and then next challenge to do that in hard mode, and then ultimately to do that in hardcore mode. You get that one chance. You know, you fall off, you jump down 3 blocks with one bit of health, and you're done. There are so many different ways you can enjoy that survival experience, and obviously at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, you don't lose anything, but you can understand and appreciate how invested you can be in that world and in that experience, because it lends itself in a lot of ways to a true real life experience that you would have out in nature, with the scouts, with the army cadets, but at home in a safe environment. Right, that brings us on to adventure mode. So adventure mode is where I like to put my players. So running Club Minecraft, as I've done for 6 years now, we provide an online server where people can join, collaborate, play in a safe online environment. Obviously, the internet is a massive, scary place, full of all different types of people. Some we want our children to interact with and have life experiences with that they wouldn't normally get or wouldn't normally be able to get, but at the same time is awash with all kinds of horrificness that we want to protect them from. And I decided a very long time ago that I would provide a safe online environment, and I would moderate it. I would not control. moderate it and manage it, to make sure that my children and my children's friends, and as it's become an ever-growing family of players, have the best and safest online experience that they can. Minecraft, once it reached the cross-play level, allowed players to go online, experience online servers through trusted partners, but a lot of these don't moderate or don't control the way that players interact. And so I'm not saying that they're unsafe, they're just not the best environment for some young people. So what I did was create this safe online environment that my children could play with their friends, and I could monitor it, and I could look through the chats logs and see what they were discussing, even if they sent private messages. And that's very big brotherish, but at that age and at that level, I felt that was necessary. And still feel that's necessary for the age group that actually play on the server. As it evolved, we invited more people onto the server, and they get to play in various different ways. The survival way that I've described, this I the survival way that I've described, we have a survival world. We call it survival multiplayer, SMP, and that's that sort of terminology is synonymous with survival type play across Minecraft servers. We also have a creative build environment. We call it build world. In other servers, you'll have either open world or creative world, build world, or plot world, where the world is divided into a bit like an allotment, where it's divided into different plots, and people get allocated a plot, and then they can build whatever they want. We also then have our mini game worlds, which is where I was going with the adventure mode before I went off on several tangents. I digress. So the adventure mode is where we lock down players, so that we craft the experience they have within the game. And this is where for me, Minecraft is really exciting, because it means that I get to build games or narratives and lead players through those narratives. There's a bit for me like writing a story. It's a blank canvas, a 3D environment that I can then take a player from the start through to the end and make them enjoy. No, let them have an experience that I hope they would enjoy. As I continued to do this with Club Minecraft, I saw that a lot of the players wanted to be able to do this as well, which is where I've taken Club Minecraft now in this direction, in that I invite players now to use the tools, the sandbox tools, to create games, and then let those games develop into multiplayer games that we then publish on the server so that other players can enjoy them. So as well, now as having this ultimate sandbox environment where they can create whatever they want to create whenever they want to create it, and having this survival near life experience that they wouldn't normally be able to experience, or wouldn't want to experience because of fears or anxieties, we now have their ability to write these stories and create these narratives, where they can take other players through a journey of their own making, which for me is one of the best things about Minecraft. When you wrap this all together into this Minecraft package, and it really did start with Minecraft. it's something, it's a bit of a new terminology that's come about in the last, I don't know, 10 years maybe, and it's something called gamification. Okay, and it is the use of game type mechanics, and physical limitation, no, digital limitational worlds, to teach non-game activities and behaviors, be that communication, interactivity, something as simple as working as a team or managing resource. These are all things and ideas that are taught at sort of college and university level, that children playing Minecraft don't even know they are learning. And that's what gamification is. The ability for them to learn real life, real world skills and apply them just by playing a game, which is why Minecraft is such an absolutely amazing tool. And it stems first from playing the game and just being confident in playing the game, being confident knowing the limitations of the game, knowing the boundaries of the game, and focusing on that, and then meeting other people who have that same level of understanding, and then being able to communicate that on a written level, on a verbal level, and articulate in such a way that shows an absolute understanding for a very complex subject, which is which is what you can arguably say is a diploma or a degree level of understanding of something. They have researched it, they have been on the internet and gathered information and resource, and then they articulate that back to their peers. At the same time, their peers recite that back to them or give them different information, and they all learn then as a group. I've found that it increases different levels of engagement in a wide variety of age groups. On the server, I've seen conversations held between like a 7-year-old and a 14-year-old. In real life, that would never happen. That would absolutely, you would never have these two people talking to each other about a common thing. Whether that's because of social anxiety or boundaries, or just a physical difference in size and appearance. But online, it's a completely level playing field, and they're able to interact in this way, and it's absolutely beautiful. The what else have I? So ability to like focus on a single item, narrative, block type, or common goal, and then discuss that, was absolutely amazing. And the attention to detail that some people give to items. Sorry, I've just had a pop-up and I've realized that there is a chat channel. I'm going to open this and look through, because I realized that I haven't invited any questions yet, and I'm very sorry, and I've just waffled on. I do apologize about this. So they have this level of attention, and attention to detail that I've never seen, especially with some children with ADHD or ASD. They give their whole focus, like mind, body, and soul, to this one thing. And I haven't seen that anywhere else outside of Minecraft, which led me to believe that this is a great tool to use for gamification, and has since been picked up by Microsoft, and they've run with it, and they provide education packages for Minecraft, which is absolutely amazing. I'm conscious of time. What I'm going to do is just quickly read through the chat messages, if you don't mind, Pippa, just to make sure that I've
No,
covered
that's
everything.
great, Matt.
Okay.
I wonder if this might be a good moment to take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
That gives you a chance to read through the messages, Matt. Gives everyone
Perfect.
a chance to get away from their screens for 5 minutes, get a cup of
Yeah.
tea, a little stretch. And if it's 1/4 now, if we come back at 20 past and maybe take questions then, Matt, or
Yeah, absolutely. I've kind of got to the end of my presentation here, so very happy to take questions.
yeah.
From
For
20
me
past.
listening, it would be great to see. Mary's been showing us a little bit of it, but for someone who's never seen it,
Yeah.
it'd be great to put something so I can understand it a little bit better, and
Yeah.
particularly the last bit that you were talking about, Matt, how it can be applied and used and kind of designed to help children understand concepts and build
Yeah.
their. So if we take a break now, we'll come back at 20 past 11. Are you there?
Hello. Yes. Yes. That's better. Sorry, your mouse sensitivity is just, my goodness. Don't shake your head at me. Teenagers. Goodness me. Right. Oh, we're just loading up Minecraft now. Excellent. So yes, I will end the actual talk presentation there, because me waffling on is just too much sometimes. I will now. All right, multiplayer. So our online server. We will give you a tour. Mary, is Jenny ready to
Yeah,
help?
we're both online.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're as well. Excellent. Right, let's I am right, share screen. I will share Minecraft and share. And so now let's go back to the start. So you may be familiar with this when you first log into Minecraft. This is Java edition. This is the one that we play on the PC. You have several options: single player, multiplayer, realms, options, and quick game. Single player is obviously, as it sounds, a single player world. This is my test environment where I do all of my testing, obviously, my mucking around and building and testing out ideas for games. So we will go into multiplayer. These are the multiplayer servers that we currently have. This is our online environment. We call this the production environment rather than the build environment. So we're going to join here. Does anybody, sorry, I should have asked this before, does anybody want to join us in Minecraft? Yep, I can see some hands. I can see some hands. Okay, all right, let's disconnect for a minute. Okay, so depending on what device you're joining from, you need to either click on add server or in Bedrock. So Bedrock is the other version of Minecraft. I will try and Java edition Minecraft for Windows. You will need 2 different bits of information, which I will put into the chat window now. Just let me, what we got here. Share screen, chat. So, right, here we go. So that is the server address if you are on Java. If you are on Bedrock, it's the same address, but you need to change port number, or it will ask you for a port number as well, which is 19132. Okay. Now I'm happy for anybody to unmute and just shout questions at me so that we can live troubleshoot this if anybody's having any problems.
Have you got any questions, Jeff?
I just want to join. That's what I yeah.
Hey, Jack.
How to join in on the Minecraft Java edition?
It's
So
Bedrock.
are you on Bedrock or Java?
Are we on Bedrock or Java?
I'm on Java.
You're on Java, okay. If you go to multiplayer and then click add server, and then it'll ask for the server name, and this is for you to call the server whatever you want so that you remember what it is. And then in server address is clubminecraft.uk.
Server address.
Club.
I just hear the pitter patter of footsteps running away.
No, I'm still here. I'm just helping him spell.
Ah, okay, cool.
I
I need help spelling.
Yeah.
So Club Minecraft, all one word,
Club
.uk.
Dot UK.
Not dog UK.
Not dog UK. No.
No, no. Dot.
I see it.
But
Yeah,
as in
dot.
the dot,
Not
not
the
don't
dot.
spell dot. Yeah, we're good. You found the server. Excellent. Right. Okay.
I hope you like my skin. It's myself.
So I hope this is okay. There's much excitement going on.
No, absolutely fine. And weird things like I hope you like my skin. We can explain this, okay? Because your avatar is obviously detailed and customized, which is called your skin. And so when people say, "Do you like my skin?" They're referring to the customization of their avatar, obviously not their actual skin.
I think
So my skin is me. 1, 2, 3, scoot. And Mary mine. Oh, Mary mine. That is a lovely purple outfit you're in. Yay.
It kind of looks like Elsa from the Frozen movie.
It does, yes. So this is what we call our hub world. Imagine like a connected what's a good analogy for this? Imagine a train system whereby there are different railways to different destinations, but they're all connected via a central station. This is our central station, our hub, which has been renamed from hub to hubbus because of reasons I won't go into. But this connects all of our different games, game worlds together. And when you first join, as you can see, I can't interact with anything. Usually in a survival world or a creative world, I'd be able to break things or place things, but I cannot do anything because I'm in what we call the adventure mode. So I have created this environment and locked it down so that players can only experience the narrative that I want them to experience, which is to move between the different games. We then have all of these portals over here, which link to the different platforms. So this is it's fine, you can fall down. These different floating platforms have different portals on for all the different games. This is kind of my kind of evil James Bondy hollowed out volcano layer. So it's a hollowed out volcano with like a pond at the bottom that's topped with like a glass dome. I was channeling my inner Bond villain when I came up with this idea. But it's stuck around. Also, platform 16. Yes. Shop at 16. I've dropped it in there. Right. So we have different game types. So we have PvP games, which are player versus player, where you're either in combat or competition with each other to get points and be the winner. You have something, the SMP worlds, which are the survival multiplayer, which is the sort of base survival type games. We then have something called PvE, which is player versus the environment. So you aren't necessarily working together, but you are working against the environment at which the game is set.
Okay, I never played PvP, but that's interesting.
It's okay, don't worry, Pippa. Jack, what should we play first, Jack? You pick a game and we'll play that.
You can say
sorry, I just want to say if you can hear me, nice pixel art on the SMP.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's
So
very
Jack,
detailed.
come down this way and we'll choose one of these games to show off. Yeah. I think we what, one of the, no, we're not playing one of those, they're too long. What about bow battle?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So bow,
that. Sure.
okay, let's come through here, look, and then bow battle's over here. So this portal here, yeah, just pop yourself through there. There we go. Mary, over this way. We're going through here. So bow battle is one of these games that that one of our players has designed. So you imagine that super flat creative world that I was talking about. Every single block here has been placed with the intention of creating this game, this narrative. In this game, it is a duel game where players will attempt to eliminate the other team only by using bows and arrows. So you have the choice of the blue team or the red team. Okay, so Cake Cat is on the blue team. Yeah, I'm going to go in red team as well. And I think Mary should join blue team. Okay, blue is the best. Yeah, red for the win, blue for the bin. Sorry, my competitive streak might come out. Okay, so all of what you're seeing now has been coded into the game. So the text on screen, the fact that I've just been given a bow and arrow, the fact that I'm only given one arrow, and if you see after a period of time, I will be given another arrow. There we go. So all of that has been coded into the game by the player. There we go. Oh my goodness! I'm trying. We won. So again, this has all been coded into the game. The red team has eliminated the blue team. There are no blue players left in the game arena. It's told us that the red team has won because, you know, red for the win, blue for the bin.
Can I join this server anytime I like?
Okay, just
I
have a question. He said,
okay.
Can he join your server anytime he likes? Or are there certain
Yes, you can. So our server runs 24/7. Obviously, there are times when there are no players online, but there are times when there are, 20 players online. It's just one of those. Oh, I like your t-shirt, Jasper. Very cool. So let's
if I spell something wrong, just try and figure out what I'm trying to say.
and just I had another question. What level of cheekiness is he allowed? So there's that thing, isn't it? Because it's a safe environment.
Yes.
So he wants to know, I guess. I guess it's because it's a hard thing to monitor, isn't it? About
it
what
is, yes.
level is.
It's kind of like my character.
We have chat filters in place, so a certain degree of cheekiness is allowed up until a point, and then the chat filter will start to change words that you write.
Okay.
And so it's self-moderating in that way. We also have a team of administrators who are usually online, and if you're told by one of the administrators that that is the level of cheekiness, and you mustn't go any further, then obviously that is what you should. If you do break these rules, then we have a 3-strike policy in place. We have you'll be banned for 24 hours. In which case we hope that you would come back and you would then understand what you've done wrong. If you do it again, then we hold an admin meeting and you're banned for 7 days.
I try really hard.
That's absolutely fine. In the admin meeting, we will discuss and take into consideration how long you've been playing on the server, your dedication to wanting to play with other people, whether it is just a reaction or an outburst. And then the 3rd strike, unfortunately, if what we've set in place for you, you're unable to
play this server forever.
Yeah, you are banned forever.
Okay, this
and it's in the interests of everybody's safety that we have this 3-strike rule. And usually after the 1st or 2nd strike, players know, they understand that they have pushed it too far. There are certain instances where players have taken it too far. Even friends of mine's children who have taken it too far, and they have received a permanent ban. And I've had letters of apology through the door, and I've had to say I'm sorry, but no. It's obviously a repeating pattern, and for the interests of everybody's safety, I can't let you back on the server, and I'm very sorry about that. And that absolutely destroys me sometimes. But we have to have these rules.
Oh, okay.
We met Matt through a CIC group that did they still run it, a send session where there's maybe half a dozen at the most.
Yeah, at most about 6-7 people.
By the way,
players.
And it was a really good introduction, to Minecraft, but also to how to play together on a group.
Yes.
And because all the children were coming from a very similar background, as in they all had some form of Sen, it was actually quite a good introduction, rather than just being launched into a server where you don't know anybody, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then from that, my daughter progressed onto the Club Minecraft, and now she loves it. Well, she loved it before, but she loves it even more now.
Yes, we call that our conflict resolution session. It's obviously players will always have disagreements about who did what and when, but we try and work through each of those instances, and use that as a tool for them to learn how to communicate their frustrations, how to communicate with one another, and resolve that, which I think is done very diplomatically between them. There have been incidences where they've left the session, or they couldn't resolve what they needed to resolve, and so it's been left for a whole week, but then they come back to the next session, and it's been resolved, and they've moved forward, which is just exactly what you would hope that they would do in a non-digital setting.
I think as a parent, it was so I've got adult children, and one of them is a massive gamer, and I used to be terrified. I used to think, oh, my little baby playing online, there's all these horrible people out there. And even though I got over it with him, I think it was even worse with my younger one, because I thought the internet's grown so massively in the last 10 years. So it was actually really good feel that it was somewhere that was secure. It was just an hour a week with other children, as I say, with Matt leading the session. And then that gave her the confidence then to make the leap to join Club Minecraft. And from that, she's joined other servers, again, that are very protected and monitored. And they've got all that admin support behind it as well. So I think it's been a really good gradual introduction. And it's just taken off. As I say, she absolutely loves it and gets so much from it. And what I like is it doesn't matter. You can go on a server and there's loads of people on, and you can still play on your own if you want to, and nobody bats an eye.
No.
If you want to join in, you can join in. It's not like it's not clicky. It's not like, oh, sorry, no, you can't come and play with me. So you get that sort of group play, but it doesn't matter if you don't want to do that. You can just go off and do your own thing.
Everybody is immediately friends.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what age you are, what background you are. Some people there is a chat facility just like on the Zoom, so you can put text up. Oops, no, I didn't. I put something else up. There we go. So you can put a text up like that, so you can talk within you can type and talk, or some people can actually join. You can join through a headset, so you can talk to people.
Voice channel. Yep.
Yeah, so there's loads and loads, and you can build on that. So there is no real boundary apart from your internet connection, basically.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
As
As long as you have an internet connection and a device to play on, that's it. That's all we need. We do have something else called a Discord server, which is separate to our online server and is a chat platform, a bit like an online bulletin board or chat forum. Again, heavily monitored and administered and managed, even more monitored and managed than the online playing server, because it allows you to join voice channels to chat in real life. Also allows you to share GIFs and memes, because who doesn't like a good GIF or a meme? And yes, exactly what you're doing. I know. Can you stop posting as I'm talking, because I can't.
It was a really good introduction, because I'm like, oh, what's Discord? Never heard of Discord. What's that? And so as a parent, it was quite scary of, oh, what is it? So again, it was a really nice protected introduction that you can then join other Discords, because you've grown with the confidence of what you can do. So I think for anybody as an adult or a child, it's a really good introduction as to what's out there in the internet. You can put your toe in the water and you're doing it quite safely.
Yes. Yeah.
Matt, we've got a question from Donna in the chat. A couple of questions. Is there a charge for Club Minecraft?
So Club Minecraft, our online server, is completely free. We run it free of charge. Our online server and the Discord, we fund through our own in real life activities, and provide it as a safe space. And I would never think of charging for it. So, and as I say, it's completely monitored, managed, and we're an open and engaging and inclusive family. And so,
second question here from Donna: is the CIC club still running and available for her son to join?
Yes, it is, and I do have the information about that and can post a link in the chat. It's run through Eventbrite, and you can book sessions there. So the online server is, as I say, open and is free to play, but our CIC sessions and other activities that we run are paid for activities, and that allows us to fund the free activities. What I'll do is I'll pop a link in the chat window once I've scrolled.
And what I can do after the session later this week is I can send all the links and information out in an email to people as well. So if you don't catch it on the chat, don't worry, we will send it out to you.
Thank you.
So we've got another question from Donna.
Yep.
Son not here at the moment to log on, but can he join the server from the details you shared on screen earlier?
Yes, absolutely. So clubminecraft.uk is the server address. If you're playing in Java edition, you just need to type that and log in. If you're playing on Bedrock edition, then you type that and you use the port number 19132, which is what we call the default port. So you shouldn't need to change that, and then log in and away you go.
Thank you so much, Matt. Do we have any more questions? Yes.
My question is, I believe on Bedrock on this phone, and I'm trying to join, but I don't know what to press first in order for the place to. Oh, is it servers or friends? I don't know.
yes, it is servers.
Servers.
And then if you scroll right to the bottom of the servers, there's a button that says join server. Okay, if you click on that, it'll open up a new server window, and then you can type in the details. The
Club Minecraft and the pit.
So the
but can we take Minecraft?
They're going to send it all to us, Saskia, as well. So
it just and then there's the ports already there, but is the port number in the server address? Because there's three.
No, the port number is not in the server address. The server address is clubminecraft.uk. The port number is in that third window, third dialog box, and is 19132, which is the default. So you shouldn't need to change it.
So it's clubminecraft.uk and the same thing for server address.
So server name Club Minecraft, server address clubminecraft.uk. Okay.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, the server name can be anything you want it to be. It could just be whatever you type in, and it would just be known as that. It's a way for you to give different servers different names. It's not actually. Yep, perfect. It's not. So in the chat, I have put the Eventbrite page for CIC, which is Creative Active Lives. We run the sessions for the SEN play along, and each week they will have an Eventbrite that you can then log into and register for.
Brilliant, thank you, Matt.
No problem at all.
Any more questions?
Now, I've realised that I've bounced around, and it is a lot of information to take in. So yeah, any other questions about anything? Yes, Jasper, go on.
Is there going to be like this is just a wild question, but is there going to be like calls like this but we just play like mini games or survival on the server?
So this is a great opportunity to plug my my YouTube channel. So on Saturday mornings, it came about during lockdown that we couldn't run one of our in real life events, and so what I did was run a day where I live streamed us playing on the server, playing mini games. That then gave birth to what we now call Saturday morning mini games, which I like to think is, as a child, I went down, made a bowl of cereal, and I sat and watched cartoons on Saturday mornings. What I've done is try to bring that into the 21st century with the advent of digital technology and online gaming, and we call it Saturday morning mini games. So on Saturday mornings from 11 to 1, when I'm not away on holiday, obviously, we play on the server and we live stream on YouTube my perspective of the game, and it is completely interactive to the point where I joined the chat channel and all the players jump into the same chat channel, and we shout for attention from each other, and it is wholly chaotic and wholly messy, and very loud. Yes, yeah, I annoy my children by gaming and shouting too loud in the office, and I get told off by them, and it's great. I absolutely love it. And so if you
it's great. I join in. It's really really good. And what is nice with Club Minecraft, again from parents' point of view, there are quite a lot of families that join, so
there
parents
are,
and
yes,
children play together. So again, it's really nice atmosphere. And I am bugging Matt here, I'm not on commission. Jenny actually had her birthday party was a Club Minecraft mini games party. So Matt, I don't know how he did it, because that's the techno side, I know nothing about this, joined people from all over onto the server, so they all played Minecraft together. And it actually worked out quite well, because 2 of the children wouldn't have been able to come because they were self-isolating. So if we had a real life party, they wouldn't have been able to come. So Jenny could have her 3 friends actually come and they played Minecraft together. And Matt got some of the admin people to come on so that there were more people, because for some of the games you need more people. And it was the best birthday party we've ever had.
You know, I'm about to be slaughtered. I'm about to be, I'm not as tech savvy as my kids. So if all this information can be sent out, because I'm trying to scribble things down, because I don't know how to copy and paste things in my chat and things like that.
I have to get my children to like switch my mobile phone on. So it's like, I would completely, like, you know, I'm of a generation where the internet didn't exist. And so over the last year, my computer skills have gone through the roof. But I had a child that, using that before lockdown, wouldn't pick up a mobile phone to pass it to somebody. She was that technophobic, wouldn't touch it at all. Now she's developing games and coding. So her IT skills have gone through the roof. And all the other things that Matt mentioned of working with other people, social skills, there is just so much that has tagged on to that has given her confidence. For example, she actually wanted to show you on screen what she was doing this morning, and these, you know, you're people that she's never met. She knows Matt, obviously, and but it is scary, I think, as a parent, because you don't know what it is.
But for Jasper as well, his reading and writing has got so good through gaming and communication skills in lockdown, because he's more on a level with everybody else. He's got lots of physical things going on, but it's really developed, and he's got a motivation to read and write and type and things, and that's been amazing for you, hasn't it?
Because they want to express, they want to express themselves and be understood, so it drives them to want to communicate better, be it verbally or written, or through the use of making games or building, which is why I've become like a Minecraft advocate, really.
But also, like, I'm really poor at spelling, and like, it doesn't matter, because you type and people just seem to get the gist of what you're trying to say because you're in the game. I've also found that they are extremely supportive of people that are new to it or don't know what to do. They just seem to be very tolerant.
Nobody is going to pick out your spelling mistakes. Nobody is going to, unlike a classroom environment where you will get told off because you haven't spelled something right. People will just accept that is how you communicate, and that is the level of communication, and they just accept that, which is, for me, being really quite dyslexic, is a breath of fresh air.
The other thing I've noticed is that the of the service that we're on, the majority of people are coming with some kind of SEN. So they're either ADHD or autistic, or, you know, there's something there. And I don't know whether they recognize it in the other players, but they seem to have a tolerance of people, and they also seem to pick up quite quickly if somebody is struggling. So if somebody is starting to get frustrated, often you find the other players will adapt. So it's almost like, I don't know, there is some empathy within it, which really surprised me, because I'm thinking you're all sat in, you know, you're in your own little room. You've never, well, some people we have actually met in real life, but the majority of people you haven't, but it works. And so that, I think that's quite reassuring again as a parent.
Can I just, having heard you say that, Mary, thank you so much. But where you say about being surprised, I think this is where, for me, a lot of this journey, like I said, you know, I've done the whole go to school, go to uni, you know, these institutional environments where what you're saying is, you know, what you're finding in these environments are people are being human. They're being loving, they're being supportive. There's this like kind of shared understanding. It doesn't matter if you spell a word right or whatever. You know, I've now realized that my brother clearly has SEND needs and things like that. And now he's in his 30s, has really struggled through life, and has avid gamer, you know, didn't really go out much and things like that. And, you know,